Let's take a look at some of the latest health headlines. Joining us now is Dr. Lauren Streicher, a professor at Northwestern University.
Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
So today we're going to talk about some big cancer news. Cancer diagnoses way up.
Yeah, and it's really kind of scary, but it's in a very specific group of people, because when we think about cancer, we generally think about older people, but it turns out that the numbers are skyrocketing in younger people, meaning under the age of 50, particularly in women. And while we're seeing this increase in many types of cancer, the two categories that are really big are breast cancer, which has the biggest change in numbers, and then gastrointestinal cancers, which has the greatest rate of change. And we're not just talking colon cancer, we're talking rarer cancers like appendix cancer, pancreatic cancer, bile duct cancer. So these numbers are really striking because there has been such a dramatic change.
Well, what's driving the breast cancer one and what's driving the other one?
Well, it's interesting because the same things that are driving breast cancer are also driving the gastrointestinal cancers. When you wouldn't put those two together, but it is the same risk factor. So specifically, what we're looking at are four categories: the foods that we eat, alcohol, how much activity we have, and also weight, obesity. So when we look at food, it's very specific. There's been a lot of studies done that show this very close correlation with ultra-processed food and various cancers. And over 50% of what's consumed by Americans today is ultra-processed food. So what's an ultra-processed food, okay? So if you eat the peach, that's natural. If you put the peach in the can and add some syrup, that would be processed because you've added some sugar and maybe some preservatives. But then when you eat the frozen peach pie and you can't even pronounce half the ingredients on the pie, much less count the ingredients, that's ultra processed. So people think of ultra processed as fast food, but it's way more than that. It's all these frozen, pre-prepared things.
But didn't that start happening like in the 50s?
It did, but it has really, really accelerated, and particularly in younger people. And one of the things that's interesting, and I thought, years ago there was a big story about that in kids' cafeterias that they were getting, McDonald's and stuff like that. And I actually yesterday, just for the heck of it, I went online to look and see what's being served in Chicago public schools, and I was pleasantly surprised. The menus are posted online, and the kids are eating healthy. So what this tells you is it's what's happening after school. It's what are they getting for dinner? What are they eating for snacks? So the processed food is a big thing, and then alcohol. Next up is alcohol for both breast and gastrointestinal.
Gosh, you don't think of food and alcohol of causing cancer.
Well, first of all, you're changing the microbiome in the gut. That's number one. You're making those inflammatory markers go way up. And those are all cancer-causing things because that affects cell growth and cell turnover. So alcohol has increased specifically because of the pandemic. Americans are drinking gallons more than they used to. And the American Cancer Society says, in a perfect world, that you're going to have less than 2 drinks a day, depending if you're a man or a woman and the kind of drinks, and certainly no more than 4 is going to make an enormous risk with breast. I mean, you don't think about alcohol and breast. And then we move on to activity. Americans are too sedentary. Again, we're looking at pandemic issues. People are working remotely, people aren't moving, people aren't exercising, everyone's sitting at their computer all day. There's over 500 studies that associate being sedentary with various kinds of cancers, again, specifically breast and GI. So,
is there any insight into cell phone usage? Because you talk about being sedentary, that's a large part of it. You talk about in recent 15 years, and I think, well, younger people probably on their phones more than people over 50.
You are correct that they are on their phones, but there has not been any association, and particularly in this group. I mean, this group, they very much identified these 4 factors, and cell phones were not part of it. And then the last one was obesity. Oh, and I want to mention with the sedentary, a lot of people think that sedentary is associated because of the weight. No, we're talking even thin people. It's that they're just not moving. And the American Cancer Society says, look, we're looking at a minimum of 75 minutes of activity a week, 150 minutes of more vigorous activity. So we're talking a couple of hours, And if you sit more than 2 hours, the risk starts to go up. So even if you're sitting at your desk every hour or two, get up, march in place, move around. It doesn't take a lot. lot. And then there's the obesity thing. You know, we know that the obesity numbers are sky high, particularly in young people. Teens right now, 1 out of 4 teens are obese. And that is very, very highly associated with cancer. So the action steps are pretty obvious. If we have modifiable risks that will reduce your risk of cancer by 50%. So if you change these things, these little changes will make a big difference. And then last, the things that everyone's talking about now is we have to start screening earlier. You know, you look at colon cancer, and the recommendation right now is in low-risk people that you get your first colonoscopy at 45. Well, we're seeing now people that are significantly younger than that. So we might have to really rethink our screening procedures.
And same thing with mammograms too, maybe,
absolutely,
huh?
absolutely.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. Thank you for being with us, Dr. Stryker. You can check out Dr. Stryker on social media and reach her there. Thanks so much.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, send a message to Pat and Paul. They want to hear from you. Here's the number, 773.